Oh man, so Bitcoin is back to 44,174 after initially being rejected from $45,500. I'm going to share with you what I'm seeing in the charts because we're seeing an interesting pattern now forming on the hourly, which I want to bring to your attention. And overall, things are looking pretty darn good, right? Let's take a look here at the charts. And as always, guys, if you haven't checked out NordVPN, links in the description. Make sure you've got yourself set up on a VPN and you're staying safe in crypto, guys. You know, staying safe in crypto, guys. Can you believe? Speaking of the topic, Bitfinex, some of the guys involved in the crime were captured, right? And ever since those tokens were seized, Bitfinex's Leo token has jumped 46%, guys. This is crazy. And guess what? The people who are alleged to have stolen the tokens, they did so without a VPN. They did so and they put their passwords on like a Google Sheet type spreadsheet on the cloud. Ludicrous. It's ludicrous how people take so little care of their security, even alleged hackers. So it's really important we get checked out. Click the link in the description, coupon code, oh man, make sure you're staying safe in crypto. Now, what are we seeing here? Because here on the daily chart, guys, as you can see, things are looking pretty good. We can't complain. You can see here we're nice. Yesterday was a bit of a rejection day, which we'll get onto when we look at the hourly chart. But here from a daily chart pattern, we're seeing very clearly that we've now had a green candle. Yesterday it ended up turning into a green candle anyway, despite the rejection point. And now we've got two closes above our daily EMA ribbon. This is a great indication for us to flip to the upside. Now, remember, it takes a little bit longer before your actual EMA ribbons flip, which is where the lighter color ones go above the darker color ones. That will happen about here as long as Bitcoin can continue its push to the upside. But this is the first indication and is normally the best indication that you're setting up for a big explosive move to the upside like we've seen in other times. Okay, so really interesting pattern here, really important because it feels like a long time ago that we were here at 32, worried about the downside in an extended downtrend to the downside, very far off our EMA ribbon. But look how quickly we bounced that back. And the reality is it was done with this one powerful candle. Okay, and that shows that if you're trying to time the market, you've missed a big portion of this move in that one day you weren't in the market. And guys, there's numerous studies here. I don't have them linked up right now, but there's numerous studies that have been done on the S&P, that have been done on the Dow Jones, where it says that if you just dollar cost average, it is the best result. You have to dollar cost average and you hodl. And the studies have shown if you miss, I think it's the top 5, 6 or 7 couple of days in the trading year, you miss the majority of gain. So it's really important that you stay in the market. Time in the market is better than trying to time the market, right? Timing the market. So really interesting chart pattern here. Really nice move here. Explosive move to the upside here on Bitcoin. In fact, let's take this measured move from there to where we're at now. In the last just couple of days here, we've had a 33% move on Bitcoin, which is no mean feat given how big an asset class Bitcoin is right now. That is a big move to the upside. Now, what are we seeing here on the 4 hourly? Let's take a look at the 4 hourly, and you can see very nicely here on the 4 hourly. Before we head over to the hourly, you can see we're just getting a bit of a consolidation along the top of our EMA ribbon, which is very interesting, okay? Something perfectly normal. This is a consolidation pattern, and this becomes confirmed when we head over to the hourly. We see this beautiful pattern play out. Let me just remove the EMA ribbon, and all you see is this is a continuation pattern, okay, guys? Just like how we saw here, big run up with a big powerful candle, and we consolidated sideways for the whole weekend. Okay, big move up again, rejected. Now we consolidate. This is a bull flag, right? And then you expect to break out to the upside and continue your move to the upside. Now you can see I've marked out here the rejection point, which was at about 45,505, and we got sent abruptly down. The good thing is we managed to recover a lot of that with this candle here. This big hourly candle shows that there was a lot of buying pressure coming back in at about 42. I remember when we were, we just wicked here below. Here you can see on this candle here we were wicking into the 42s, and then the buying power came in and you saw this big candle taking us all the way back to the 44s, which is where we're now hovering around 44,057. Can we get the breakout from this triangle pattern? That's what we want to see now. Can we get the breakout from this pattern to the upside? The majority of times this technical pattern does break to the upside. Yes, you've got to get to the top of your wedge first, but longer term we've got to the technical price target, if we just do the measured move here on this move, and you put it at the point of breakout, let's say we break out about there, you'll be looking at that taking us to about 46,376 here on this continuation pattern here for Bitcoin. So overall, things are looking good. We have to secure the horizontal support here at 44,461. We're currently below that. We then want to get to the next level, which is at 46,987. Just call it 47,000. Really important level. If I go into the 4-hourly, you can see how important this 47,000 level is. Well, obviously the level we're fighting at now is critical due to this point here, which you can see. This is very important. And then the 47,000 level is really important due to this level you're seeing here. This is when we're in this descending wedge. There's a lot of volume happening here, a lot of buy and sell movement happening here, which is why it's really important we build above this level and then we can start our recovery process. Zooming back out into the daily now, just to kind of finish off the pattern we're seeing. In order for this, what we can see first and foremost is, remember, on this daily chart, you could see we were forming this massive triangle pattern, which I was showing you for a long period of time. Now, we broke to the outside. Now, remember when we got rejected, we started heading down. What I said was we could just be collecting support from this violet pattern. And so far, fingers crossed, you know, we've pretty much got that, right? We're getting a good bounce of this violet wedge. Yes, we fell below it here, but roughly speaking, we're getting our bounce. We created the higher low from here on the daily chart, which is great. And now we can continue to head to the upside. So you can see here, just zooming in, getting to that 47 level is going to be really critical. Once we've won the battle at 47, just to give you guys the roadmap ahead of what's to come, right? And it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not suddenly turning bullish, and I'll give it my caveat in a second. But what we need to do from the bullish stance is we need to win the battle here. We need to get above 47. Then we can start fighting for the 50 psychological level, which is the level around here, okay? Very important. And then once we work through 54, and the reason 52 to 54 is an important range is because that was the initial cup and handle pattern we formed. Remember this neckline from this cup and handle pattern? This was an important level for us, and that's when we broke to the upside from the cup and handle pattern and ran all the way up to 69,000. So that's going to be an important level. Thereafter, this box here, 56 to 61, as you guys already know, we've covered this plenty of times, is a very important level. Look back here, earlier in the year, rejection, 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 rejection from that level. And then you can see again when we went in, we struggled. We did briefly break up. You can see we got rejected in this time. We broke up to 69,000. We got sent back into this box and we lost the box quickly. So we've not managed to turn this green box really green. I should really color it red because it's still acting as resistance. We've not managed to get above it and hold it as support. And the moment Bitcoin can do that, we'll have security knowing that if we run up to 100,000, if we run up to 120, we can always fall to this safe box between 56 to 61 as a support level. Right now, that's not there for Bitcoin right now. Right now, the floor price for Bitcoin is 30K. 2 times now we tested it. We tested in summer last year and we recovered, and we tested 32 just now and we're recovering, okay, so far. So, you know, the argument that could we create 40 as the price floor, 50 as the price floor, it's not happened yet. We thought we were going to be able to when we were holding the pattern here, but we didn't. We continued to fall to the downside when we were in this descending channel, and therefore we continued to the downside, okay? So we weren't able to hold the price floor at 40. So that's going to be a really important mission on the way up. Now, why am I holding out in terms of saying, oh, you know, this is a clear run now to 69,000? The reason is as follows. We need to remember what's just happened. We've bled from 69,000 all the way down to 32. Okay, and you can see this big, long red resistance line keeping us down this whole period. Now, in this process, we had a lot of experienced and inexperienced crypto investors sell. Okay, they sold their positions and they moved into cash. They were in stable coins. Now, as I said, when Bitcoin starts recovering back to 40, you're going to have a lot of this cold money coming back into the market. Why? Because they're trying to time it back in the market. They would have sold on the way down. Let's say they sold here at 46, 45, or some of them even in the high 30s, 38, 39, and now they're trying to time their way back into the market, okay? Because they want a free ride all the way up to 69. But the bears aren't that stupid, right? So the bears set up what are called bull traps, which is when all these positions start to come back on, okay, including leverage positions, guys. The longs are taking leverage positions now. People want that ride all the way up to 69, but it's not enough for them to take that ride. They want it on 30x leverage. So a lot of people are trading these patterns right now, including the one I've just shared with you here on the hourly chart. You guys just have to, you know, spend 5 minutes on YouTube to find all the pump boys who share the same chart patterns, who give you the, you know, leverage links in the description from below to know that everybody is trading this chart pattern right now, which is why you see a lot of fake outs. Look, this was a fake out here. Look at this hourly candle here. It wicked all the way up here to 44.46 to let the traders enter their position, and then it wicked them back out. So expect even on the daily and even on these 4-hourly charts, expect a lot of false starts. In other words, all the bears need to be able to do is wick out the top couple of percent movement, okay? So they just need to move the price down by a couple of percent. That's going to trigger all the long leverage positions, and they will get liquidated. And then the price can move 5-6%, okay? So don't be surprised to see if we fall back down to 39, 38. I'm not saying this is now a clear run all the way up to 69. I'm being very pessimistic to make sure that I don't miss or make any wrong decisions. But as you guys know, my strategy is very straightforward, okay? When it was bleeding, when the price was really low, I took the opportunity to buy. I bit down on my gum shield and I bought more, right? When nobody wanted to touch it, we were worried, are we going to create a lower low below 29? And I wasn't sure. We made those videos and we spoke about that together. You know, if we fall below this line here at 29.30 level, we end up creating a lower low. And it was horribly close. It was horribly close. But I continued to have conviction. Not only did I not sell, like many others did, I bought new positions, and those new positions which I was buying in these here, you're already 34% up, which helps your portfolio out massively. So long story short, I'm not tracing any green candles. I'm not in a rush to pick up any more. If we see heavy retracements and pullbacks to the downside, I will top up my positions, not only on Bitcoin, but on my favorite altcoins as well, because when Bitcoin flushes down, you will see your favorite altcoins pull back. So I'm not chasing the likes of Phantom at 240. I'm waiting for him to retrace back to 210, 208, those kind of levels, and then you want to be picking up. Same with all your other favorite altcoins, okay? Let it pull back, let it come to you. Don't chase. If you followed the procedure that we were talking about over the last 30 to 60 days, watching these videos on a daily basis, you should be set where you didn't panic sell, you held your positions, you built conviction, you dollar cost average, and you would be in a good position right now. You don't need to chase this. Let the people who sold chase these green candles right now, okay? Because they need to get back in the market. That's all they care about. And let the bears manipulate them with bull traps. That's what's going to happen. We're not in a rush to get back. The important thing for us was that we created that floor here. We created that floor here. If we have a good run up now, that's fine. Even if we retrace, I don't mind. Even if we retrace, guys, all the way to 38, I don't mind. As long as we create a higher low. As long as we create a higher low from where we reversed at 32, 33, we're on an uptrend. And I don't care how long that takes, because there's going to be a lot of false starts, but as long as we trend in the right direction and we don't create the lower low, which is what we managed to avoid this time, we're all good. And eventually we'll get back to all-time highs. And, you know, no doubt we'll be making a video celebrating the all-time highs when we get there. So you got to see the course, guys. Now, let's head over to the Fear and Greed Index, because this kind of emphasizes what I'm just saying. The Fear and Greed Index is now on 54. Okay, we're getting to greed right now. Okay, this is still neutral. 54 is still neutral, but it felt like just days ago that we were in 10, scores of 10, 18, these kind of scores. Okay, let's look at the chart over a year period. And you can see here, guys, look at this. We are now getting to levels here on our Fear and Greed Index, which you have to go all the way back to. That date here is 18th of November, okay? So this is before the fall now, okay? So now we're getting back to those levels, which makes sense because Bitcoin's recovering to those prices. But soon the greed's going to kick in. And when the greed kicks in, that's where leverage kicks in. That's where we can see big shocks to the downside. So if you're trading on a small time frame, be very, very careful. And now all the articles are starting to come back, right? Now we're getting things like this. Well, oh, look, all these articles have come back. Bitcoin will hit $200,000. Where were you when Bitcoin was at 32 and 31? Where was your research then? Right? This is why you have to take these articles with a pinch of salt, because they're just a load of BS, really. Like, it's just, they just write this when they feel like it. Remember when I made the video and I said, right now, nothing is going for Bitcoin. There's no bullish catalyst right now, and I see further downside because there was no news articles. There was no Tesla coming out. There was nothing, right? No country was talking about adopting Bitcoin. No Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs or FS Insight or anybody else was giving price predictions of Bitcoin. They all hid under their duvet and they panic sold, right? Very interesting. Now, the other interesting thing I saw was this. Bank of America says Bitcoin trades more as a risk asset and less as an inflation hedge. Thanks, Sherlock. We've been talking about this for months on this channel, right? If you look at the correlation, now finally, thanks for them to give me the permission to give me the actual number to use, Bitcoin is correlated 99.7th in the 99.73 percentile to the NASDAQ, which we know is not treated as an inflation hedge. We've covered that on this channel right now. Yes, you know, it can be treated as anti-inflationary for people in countries where they're, you know, Venezuela or any of these countries where their currency is going crazy. Yes, people are turning to Bitcoin. But as an asset class overall, the more economically developed countries, they trade into Bitcoin as a risk asset, risk on asset. And it's been treated like that. That's why it's correlated to NASDAQ. And that is why tomorrow, when we get our CPI reading, Bitcoin will move. It will either move to the upside if the economy is not inflating as much as we thought, and it will move to the downside, which is contrary to it being correlated to inflation. Okay, so those who say it's correlated to inflation, if tomorrow inflation is really high, it's higher than 7.2, 7.3 that the economists expect, do you think Bitcoin's going to run up? I think it won't. I think if inflation is higher than the economists predict, Bitcoin will head to the downside because risk will go off. The NASDAQ will fall, S&P will fall, and I believe the Bitcoin will fall as well. If, however, inflation comes in cooler than expected, less than 7.2, if it starts with a 6, that would be great. Then I can see Bitcoin rallying, I can see the S&P rallying, I can see NASDAQ rallying as risk starts to come back on, because there'll be less fears of a double rate hike on March the 15th and 16th. Really important that we understand that. Thanks a lot, Bank of America, for putting out this really amazing research. I mean, really, on it, and so quick and sharp of you guys. Really, really good. And then we're getting, again, some more positive articles, right? This is the opposite of FUD. We're getting good stuff coming out now. Russia to regulate crypto, dispelling fears of ban. Great. The government plan to license exchanges and tax transactions has the support of the central bank, which previously wanted to outlaw mining. Again, this is signs that now the market's starting to get greedy, guys. And I want to train you guys to start identifying this. If the news is telling you something, it's normally going to do something else. Okay, so now start getting you, just like I was saying, when the market was red, think about when it's going to be green. When the market's green, think about what happens if it's going to pull back. Just prepare yourself. It's the best way. If it stays green, great. You don't need to do anything, right? So let me prepare you for the thing that nobody's preparing you for, which is if it now pulls back. And we know what we're going to do. If it pulls back and we've got high conviction, we're going to add to our positions. We're going to look for our favorite altcoins and add to our positions then. We're not going to chase our favorite altcoins right now. We're not going to chase our favorite Bitcoin. We're not going to chase Bitcoin right now. Why? Because we've still got our positions. We didn't sell them. We had high conviction and we held our position. So we don't need to now time our way back in. Those that sold, good luck. They've got to time their position back in. And they've got to do so amidst the greed, amidst the leverage, amidst all these positive articles really pumping Bitcoin right now. But a lot of these can have underlying bull traps underneath. So we have to be very, very careful. Okay, so let's take a quick look at liquidations before we wrap up as well. And you can see here on the liquidations, you just want to keep an eye on this. Okay, so today hasn't been so bad. Yesterday was pretty bad, which we covered off. 146 million in longs liquidated, which is why we saw that red candle, but then a bunch of shorts got liquidated as well. So yesterday, that's why on the daily candle there on Bitcoin, it was a really interesting candle yesterday. See if we can zoom in here on that candle. You can see it went all the way up, all the way down, massive topping tail and bottoming tail here, and then closed at about the middle of the candle here on Bitcoin. So really interesting day yesterday with the bulls and bears fighting. You're fighting all the way between this level at the top of the wick, which is the high, which is sitting at 45,500, and then the low is 42,600. Okay, so call it 42,000 and a half, and you're looking at a $3,000 swing intraday yesterday. So a lot of volatility, a lot of bulls and bears fighting right now, a lot of leverage in the system, and that is why we have to be super patient. Right, so there we go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this blend of technical and fundamental analysis on Bitcoin. As always, guys, I said to you, I'm committed to bringing you my research, bringing you what I'm seeing in the charts as and when I'm looking at the charts for my own purposes. If you guys find that useful, make sure you're hitting the like button and subscribing. When Bitcoin started running down to 30, I made the commitment to say to you guys, I'm here. I'm going to make a dedicated video on Bitcoin. Even though we were making phantom videos and other videos, I knew that the market was following Bitcoin. I wanted you guys to understand that we need to follow the macro market. And right now, we need to focus on Bitcoin because all our altcoins are going to follow in line. When things change and altcoins start moving at their own paces, we'll make the dedicated videos then for those altcoins when they're moving in their own decoupled manners as and when they do. But right now, we know it's all obeying Bitcoin. Phantom will move when Bitcoin does. Solana will move when Bitcoin does. Ethereum will move when Bitcoin does. So it makes sense. So we take the time to look at the market, look at the fundamentals, understand what's going on in terms of CPI and inflation and the wider stock market. And any channel which is not giving you that level of depth, please question where you're taking your research from. Because again, and I keep imploring you to do this, guys, there are plenty of channels out there that claim to be doing amazingly in crypto, but all they're doing is showing you a chart pattern, giving you none of that fundamental. Like, how can you trade off just a chart pattern? Right? Just a chart pattern in this type of market when inflation reading can come out tomorrow and wipe out the pattern I've just shared with you here on the hourly chart on Bitcoin. it's ludicrous, right? So you've got to question that. You've got to understand who are you taking your research from. And obviously, don't take anybody's word, not even mine. Do your own research as always. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, check out NordVPN, guys. Links in the description. If you're not staying safe in crypto, make sure you check out the link. Get yourself set up on a 2-year VPN, guys. NordVPN have been kind enough to offer this community 70% off a 2-year plan. That's 24 months. Plus, they throw in a month for free. So you got 25 months of coverage. I think it works out to like $2-3 a month, guys. You know, it's an absolute no-brainer. Get yourself set up on a VPN. Have the peace of mind when you're logging into exchanges. Always use your VPN. By the way, if you're ever like somebody who wants to game in other countries, or you want to watch certain documentaries or programs that are only available in other countries, or use certain apps, you can do so, because you can, on the VPN, you can just set yourself to be visible from a certain country, and that way you can utilize those apps or play games with your friends from different countries. So check out what NordVPN has to offer. Link in the description. Coupon code Oh man. Okay, guys, that's it. That's about it for us on Bitcoin. As always, smash up the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.